Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. So we are back at surviving as a trader, surviving in Mars. And here's what we got going so far with our new quote-unquote home base. Okay, so it did a little bit kind of on and off camera. So let me just roll that really quickly as we speed through the build of the roof and the side piece here. Right, we're back. So let's just do a very quick trading or selling. Looks like the price has gone up a bit since then, which is not great, but still doable. 158 for the ingot itself. That's still decent. It's not too bad. Ingots. I'm gonna buy uranium ore is still cheap for the most part, so we're gonna just keep buying that as we get them, and everything else should be okay. We probably will need a little bit of cobalt sooner or later, but yeah. Right, so if I'm consulting my spreadsheet that I've developed a couple videos ago or episodes ago, we can see that computers at the ingot level is a little bit of a shortcoming there, not much of a profit. Cost is gonna be about 40 versus selling for 35, so losing a bit here. But of course on the ingot level, on the ore level, it makes out because it's costs 25 to make and 35 here. But we do buy the iron ingots sometimes, and a decent amount of it. So I don't know, it still kind of equals out a little bit. So it's not that bad, but let's just say we had 12k before, when we bought all the iron ingots and the iron ore, and if we sell everything here, we should make out okay. Detect the components, that's already a profit there, so that is not bad at all. Large steel tube, it's a bit of a loss on the ingot side, but on the ore side, it should be not a significant increase, but it's not too bad either. Motors, I think motors are pretty good. Yep, that's not too bad. Ingot level is at 1625 and I'm selling for 1776. So give or take, some things will be, you know, a profit, some things won't. If we did a true conversion, then we will know exactly how much we've sold and how much we've lost in that case. Okay, so let's get back to the home base that we have. Some of you had mentioned that why even bother with a stationary base and why not just do a mobile base? Well, yeah, that could be an idea, but I do like the fact of having a home in a sense. So it's always good to have. And again, and knowing me, I'll likely destroy that mobile base, so that becomes a bit of an issue, especially if we're going to house a lot of this stuff here in that base and then yeah, crash it. So that's gonna be a thing, trust me. But anyways, we worked on the house a little bit and we kind of designed it pretty much the same as the other home, but the only difference is that now instead of using those weird angled decorative blocks, we decided to just go with big 3x2 pane windows and have the half block pillars on the side, and then on the roof, which we did most of the roofing recently. I'm not liking it too much, so I think I want to redesign this a bit more. But it is a pane window, 3x2 windows on top here as well. I feel like it just needs to be designed a little bit more. So we need to do things like maybe a half block or full block kind of look to it. I'm not liking this basic look to it. And we could kind of make it more like a home as well, or during these pillars we can do a full block or so, or a combination of them. So we could do maybe something along the lines of using that block, and I think we're gonna need to use a full block here for the air pressurization. So there's that, and we could smoothly kind of angle these things out too with these slope blocks. I don't know how far we want to go with this, but we don't have to go too crazy with it, I think. So it could be like that, and this could be a full block as well. And then it just brings that down that way. But no, I think that's fine. We could use a half block here, so it's more flatter up top. And we'll just bring it down this way. And I think that should be okay. It would be nice if it's okay, but let's see. Okay, so we need to solve for here and here if this is the case. Not much we could do about this because we do need to cover the bottom a bit. So either we go full block like this, or we put something else in there. Actually, what would be interesting is maybe we could do, if we have it in our toolbar somewhere, the inset lights. I think that would be nice to have right down the middle if we can. So it'll be kind of placed like this. That might look okay. All right, so that is what we got, and let's see what that looks like from afar. It adds a little bit more to it. I don't know. I feel like, well, it's not much we could do about this part of it. I mean, if we went with a full half block, it might look a little bit better, but we can't because this is a half block right over here. We could potentially use this block instead to raise it up. And do a full block there instead. Which may or may not look that great. Actually, no, not... Yeah. Not the best idea. I mean, I don't know. It looks okay. But I feel like it's a little bit off. We could play around with this idea. That might work. Because it gives that extra little look to it. A little hump to it. No, it's not smooth enough, unfortunately. But, well, that makes it a little bit higher. How's that? I kind of preferred that just a tiny bit more. And actually, if we could do it that way, we might not even need this piece here. And leave it like that. Yep, I think that looks a little bit better. And we could leave that there, I think. Ideally not, but I'm okay with having that there. It's not a big deal. And yeah, I think that definitely will work. So we just gotta add it all over our thing here, our base. And it should look decent that way. All right, so there we go. That should situate the foam a bit on the top. And that looks a lot better, to be honest. So that works out. This piece right here doesn't work out anymore, really. So I don't know if there's going to be a block that's going to be able to situate that. Let's see if we could find something. I think the best thing to find is something like this, potentially. Or should I keep looking? Yeah. The best block you can find is this to kind of corner it out a little bit. Which still looks terrible. So I'm going to leave that out. And leave it as this, which isn't too bad. So let's just leave it as that right there. So now we have a nice little roof here. That works out pretty well. The glass that it's down here, should we raise it up? Should we put it up here? And over here we could do something too. What can we put here? I want to get rid of that for example. Can we put this block here like so? No, I think that's going to ruin the design. So let's leave it as that. All right, so we'll leave the design as is, I think. It doesn't look bad. And right here in the middle, what we can also do is potentially use a block like this. And we can do that with just kind of like the middle section of the base here. So we'll put one there, one here, and then one here. So we have that a little sloped out a little bit, and we don't want to do it up in the front, I think. Yeah, we don't want to do that. It's fine. And I'll just add a little bit more design to it. Nope, that looks terrible. We're gonna leave it as this, so it's less brick looking like right this moment. Just a tad, not significant. I think the only other added touches that we can do is down here. Instead of making it straight down, we could do this kind of half slope block like this, make it a little different than our flat half blocks here. I'm definitely gonna do that. And it just looks like more support than anything else. All right, so there we go. So that is our new home with that decent look to it. Now we got to figure out where we want to put the entrance. So the entrance could be here, which might not be a bad idea because we can easily get access to this area. So we should probably just close up the back here. And we can easily close it up with some normal blocks or panels. Maybe just some panels for now would do. We'll situate this a little bit later, and a little bit better, I think. We probably want to add a few windows or such to make that look a little bit better as well. But for now, let's just try to do it this way. We're gonna add a little bit of window. We just want some light from the back here. It's gonna look terrible without some kind of view. All right, so we just added 2 windows, and we could go with that same aspect that I have in terms of windows. We could use half panes, but we'll just do this for the time being. All right, so this is just gonna be temporary for now, I think. Yeah. So this is looking not too bad, and of course, we gotta create a door and everything as well. So we gotta figure that situation out. All right, so we got to figure out this section here. We do want to have a bit of a balcony-ish like thing here. So we got to get rid of these blocks here. And we could change the color just a tad here. And maybe we put a bit of a beam block situation here. Like so. Sure. Alright, so that is going to be a little bit of a balcony section for us. Not too much of it, but it should be okay. I feel like we should extend out the steps just a tad as well. Alright, I'm going to go a little cheap right now. And use half blocks where I can. And we're gonna put a little bit of a ramp system right over here as well. Okay, so the rest of this could just be the regular stairs. And that should be good. Okay, so now we got to situate ourselves in terms of the door. Do we want to continue to do the hatch look? I don't mind the hatch. It just takes forever to open and close. So I might want to just change that up a little bit. I feel like, let's see. I feel like either the offset door or the original sliding door is like your best bet because it does move a lot faster in terms of opening and closing. So here's your offset door, which isn't too bad, and that opens a lot quicker than your hatch. So I might use this instead when we're doing our airlock system. It sounds a little bit better than going the slow route of the other thing. So there's that. And now since we have room for piping, we could always put the airlock right down on the bottom of us here as well. One of the good things about this build now is that we could do a half block right over here, or we could do a window. I think we could just do a window. Yeah, I like that idea. Right over here. And then we just gotta close out the rest here, which I think we're gonna do a window here and here, like we had it on the other side. Okay, and the rest will probably be panels for now. Actually, this all should be built on the outside. It just works a little bit better that way because we're not planning to put any blocks on the outside here anyways. Should we surround the outside with windows? Meaning this one and this one? I think we should just do that since... Oh! I just got a window fall on my face, so that's always fun. So let's just do it this way. So we got a U-shaped window across like this so we can easily see through. Shouldn't be too bad. I think that should be airtight. Can't say for sure, but we can always grab some mats for an air vent and just throw it in there for now and see what that kind of looks like. So I'm just going to throw it anywhere here for now. And take a look at it. And it looks like it's green, so that's a good sign. I would be inclined to say it's working correctly because when you open it, it turns yellow. Yep, it's airtight, so we're okay here. Perfect. So this part looks a little odd because it's sticking out a little bit, but should be okay. And I guess if we are going to put an airlock system here, ideally we put a window right there, but it looks like that might not be the case because it's not going to look great. We could put these slopes potentially, but it still sticks out a tad. Not the best look in the world. And if we use this one, the half block one, the half slope, that definitely will cover it, but it's not gonna look great either. So we gotta avoid that. So this door works okay, but also not the best. Let's just get rid of this one. Let's go with the original doors, which is going to be the sliding doors. So the sliding doors makes it look a little bit better, except for now that top piece, but should be okay. But it opens and closes a little bit just as quickly as well. So I'm not mad about that. The only problem is I know sometimes these things kind of act a little funny. So let's just put an air vent once again to see if that was working okay. Okay, and it looks like it is. Yeah, so we're okay here. So at least if we do it this way, we could easily plop on some kind of windows and everything like that without any issues. So we can kind of see through what's going on. We could invert these a little bit so we can see from here clearly what's there, and it'll be shaded when we're inside. Would that look okay? I guess so. Now the question is, do we need to build it like this, or can we build it like this? So we build it like this, it should be okay. I feel like if we went on the passageway route, that might actually look pretty decent. And we have a good amount of picks for passenger stuff here. So we don't have to go with the original style. We go with this one. So that doesn't look that bad, but it does crowd the door just a little bit. Yeah, it does kind of crowd the door a little bit. I was hoping it didn't. I mean, we could go with a larger one like that. But that's not going to work out. But if we went the route of a passenger passageway, yeah, it definitely does crowd the door just a tiny bit. So it's not ideal. But let me see if that's going to be okay to work out. So here's your passageway with a light. And I mean, it doesn't really crowd the door that much. We could walk in and out from here, and it's not too bad. And we, of course, we have the air vent. We could do the air vent in the bottom, so that should work out. I do. That does leave us space on top to work on stuff too. So choices. But putting this instead of windows actually gives us the ability to put stuff on the outside right here too. So let's just go with that for now. I think it's a good idea to give it a shot, to build it with the passage. And the passage, I think there's one with windows. Yep, there's one's with windows. So instead of the light, we could do the window instead. Which I kind of like the light being there so I can see a little bit better. But I think it should be okay if we did it this way anyway. So we don't need too much. I think we could just do 3 or 2. I think 3 might work out okay. And then we'll put on another door here. So the door, unfortunately, can't use the offset door because it looks funky with the sticky part that's sticking out. So we might as well just use another sliding door. All right, there we go. So we got that going here. I think that might be a little too long. Because it's going to be, like, if we were to run out, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 seconds to get through. I mean, timing-wise, it might work out pretty well, but I don't think we need that long. So let's just deal with it with just the 2. Because these sliding doors does give that extra kind of spacing as well. So there's that. All right, so it's a bit dark in here, which is kind of what I wanted to avoid. But the good news is down here is a panel block, which we can get rid of and put in the inset lights. I do wish they came with a half block version. That would be kind of nice too. But we could plop this on here for lighting purposes. Like so. And that kind of gives us some light. Not a lot, but it could give us a decent amount of light. That's not... it's okay. And then here, we'll throw on the air vent. So we don't necessarily need the big one. We could use the half air vent if we want to. Oh, no, we can't because it's on the reverse side. Never mind. Okay, we need the full one. And we could put the dots on that side. So that should be okay. There we go. So close that. And we are air pressurized. Perfect. So we need to go down there eventually to figure out the airlock system. But at least now we have a nice little passageway up here if we need to. Build anything up there. And everything else is pretty set. So we can do our bed system, our armory, our farming back here if we have to. Because there's not a lot of farming items. So right here. It's a decent amount, but not too many. Got mushrooms, apples, vegetables, wheat, soy, herbs. Yeah, that's about it. And I think we could get all those from the economy store, so we don't really need the unknown signals in that case. So should be a-okay when it comes to that. We could right now set up a bed if we ever need to sleep here, but actually we can't because we need oxygen. So we should make somewhat of an oxygen farm like thing. And I need to set up like a timer and everything like that too in there. So we don't have to keep opening, closing the door like that. Light situation. I think we're okay for now. We could use more of those offset lights for sure. So like we could, or inset lights, like we could put one right here and here. Here we go. So now we got some additional lighting out here, which is not too bad. We could always extend the intensity of this or the radius. Let's just do radius at its max. This looks like 20 meters. So nice little lighting right outside, so we can easily see the door, I guess. And we need a passageway on the bottom as well. We could just cut a side panel off for now and use that. But there's ample room down here, which is great. So it's a little on the dark side, but not too bad. And we do all the plumbing pretty much even down over here. So, for example, we could just do it right underneath this if we have to. And put in like a cross section here. Or a conveyor pipe junction. And connect it to our oxygen tanks and everything like that too. We'll leave that open for now. And actually, instead of the pipe, I think it looks a little bit better with a conveyor junction itself. Let's just get that kind of plopped on for the time being. Where does the sun rise? I think the sun is directly this way. So we could lay out a bunch of O2H2, no, a whole bunch of oxygen farms down there connected to the inside bottom to get some oxygen. Or we connect that oxygen tank right there so we can buy oxygen instead. So those are some of the options that we have. All right, so the home's looking not too bad, actually. I mean, we didn't do too much. We reshaped the top. We could do a lot more with it if we need to. We could actually add the oxygen tanks up here as well if we really want to. Or create it so that it looks like a bit of a chimney looking like thing. So we could do like oxygen tanks up here. Potentially. But for the most part, I think if the sun is to rise this way, we could just lay out an oxygen farm on the floor. We don't necessarily need it to have sun tracking. Sun tracking would be useful a little bit, but we don't, if it's going this direction, if I'm right, it doesn't need to rotate. It just needs to go up and down to angle it a little bit more. So maybe we just use a hinge if that's the case. But am I sure the sun's going that way? No. So we're gonna have to find out. But from my memories, if it serves me right, yes, it should kind of go this way. Kind of, I think. Hopefully. So there's that. And if we want to pipe it through here, we can. So that would mean we probably want to do a junction right in here. Looks like we can't do... Alright, we're going to do a faulty box over there. Or a fake box right there. We need mats. Right, so the idea is to add a conveyor junction right over here. And of course, we can change the color if we can. And then we could pipe the rest out to maybe up to here, roughly. So we grab a pipe and stick it up to here. I think that'll work. And yeah, there we go. So then we could just pipe in all of the oxygen farms. So oxy farms are, it's a little bit on the expensive side of the bulletproof glass, but it is flat. So do we want to go with a pipe or do we want to do it with a conveyor? So we could do it this way, like that, so it squares out, or do we want to do with a conveyor pipe? I think we could just do, I'm just gonna go with the flat surface of a conveyor junction. I mean, is there a difference in cost? No, no difference in cost. It just looks different. So let's just do the flatter version of it. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, like so. I think that could be more than enough. And I don't know how much weight it's gonna be holding. Actually, let's see if we can hold one more on this side. Here we go. Then put the oxygen farms, so we have a decent amount of farms. We can put one here, one here, one here, here, here. Okay, so this is gonna be our oxygen farm, and this might look okay. And if we angle the hinge just a bit, yes, I think it is gonna hit the floor pretty hard. So I think we might have to lower the velocity a bit. Not velocity, max and lower, I think. So about 34 should be our upper limit here. I would think the opposite for the other side, right? Hopefully the limits will prevent it from crashing. I hope, at least. So negative, oh, did it hit the ground? Oh yeah, right there. There's a bit of a difference because of that little hill that we're on. So negative 30 to 31 in this case. No, negative 30. We'll bring it back up. Okay, so that way at least we won't smack the ground hard, hopefully. And it should work out. This way we can shift a little bit just to get the oxygen from one side to the other. So the best thing so far right now, being here as part of a base next to the economy base, I can, on downtime, I just go inside and start doing my trading and selling, which I did at the same time. So you didn't really see it, but it did happen. I promise. Unfortunately, oxygen farms do cost a large amount of materials to make. I might not even have the glass for this. That's a lot of glass. There we go. That is perfect. So all this should route inside that base over there. Of course, we're still missing a camera and everything too. We will put the camera right in the middle. Yep, middle. Let's just say. I think the sun rises on that side, so that's gonna be bottom right there. And hopefully this works out, where it's just gonna go up and down from here. And if we really care to, we could put the event control out here instead of inside or out there. That's if we really wanted to. I don't know if I care to do that. Maybe I put it underneath here. We could do that. Not event controller, the turret controller. So we could, if we really care to, put it right out here. It's not going to be much of a hindrance. Actually, it might. Yeah, it looks like... Actually, no. It looks like it could be a problem. So maybe we do not put it there. And put it out here somewhere for the time being. Should really cover up some of the stuff that we're building out here. But I'm going to just throw it right out here for now, right next to the timer block that goes crazy. You turn it on and off. And with this we can do We can do actually a lot of things with the screen. The large screen, let's just do like a script if anything. So you can do like a clock and everything like that. I forget, can you do a timer on here? If you could do a timer, that would be great too, but I don't think we can. So what time is it right this moment? There we go. That's my actual time recording this session. So yeah. Anyways, what we're gonna do? All right, so we gotta set up this whole entire thing where azimuth is gonna be our hinge. Actually, no, not azimuth. We don't want the azimuth. We want elevation to be our hinge, and then we want to assign the camera. And we could slow this down to do 1 for the multiplier for the velocity for elevation azimuth. We don't have the azimuth, but it's fine. And we'll leave the angle deviation. And I think that should do it. Oh, no, wait. We forgot to aim at the sun. Okay. Now that should do it from here. Okay. So we aim at the sun, which is going to gather the oxygen. And then we need to collect the oxygen, which is going to be using oxygen tanks. So we need to grab a few and add those. Now, how do we want to add these? Do we want to add up top? Do we want to add to the bottom? We could have added all throughout here if we wanted to as well, but we didn't. So that's okay. We could add it right down here as well if we wanted to. So we can't build up here, but we could build down here. Let's build maybe the oxygen tanks right over here. And let's build 1. And we can connect this with the piping. I don't know why, but I always kind of choose a white color for, yellow color for piping. I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I kind of do here. Right, now we have this tucked in, out of way, out of sight. And we should be able to gather oxygen this way. Where should we pipe this though? Upwards? It's the question. So I think we have to work from the top down for this. Okay, we're in the base. It's nice and dark, so we gotta fix that sooner or later. Fix that issue sooner or later. And we need to situate the air. We could put it anywhere on the ground anyways. Maybe we just do it right here. Why not? There's a connector right there anyways. And it shouldn't block me, I hope, when it comes to this little triangular block thing over here. And looks like we are good. So we get oxygen pressurizing. Perfect. We ain't gonna get the pressurized just yet until the sun comes up, obviously. So we gotta wait for that. But that thing's just gonna teeter back and forth to get the oxygen that way. But it's not terrible. We could extend this out a little bit more too. So if we need to get this out more, we could plug in maybe a pipe or whatever and build it out here. But this is more than enough in terms of length, I think. So we should be okay. So we pretty much went from a roofer to now a plumber in recent times fairly quickly. But I'm going to put in these. Oop, not this one. I'm going to put in the junction right in the corners and have the piping all the way out through here. Alright, so I think we are set here for now. I know things are a little bit slow in terms of building the home and everything like that, but can't really test out the oxygen due to the lack of the sun. And we did quite a few things. Roofing, plumbing, as I mentioned. We could do a lot more, but we do also need to figure out how we're going to transport everything from the old base to this base. My initial thought is a large rover / truck To port things over 3.6k away should be okay. But it is a lot of stuff, so I'm not sure if that's going to work out pretty well. And I'm probably going to leave the base abandoned for now. If I'm really desperate for parts, yes, I would go there, grab what I need to grab, and or dismantle or grind down, I should say. But only if I'm desperate. If I'm not desperate, then fine. I can leave it there. Not a problem. Alright, so that should be it for today. Hopefully we'll finish off the base and transport everything in the next few episodes. Or we could do something more interesting, obviously. Don't know what yet, but hopefully you'll see next time. But of course, don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a comment down below. If you made it this far, why don't you let me know what your total playtime is in Space Engineers so far. Mine is 1,882.7 hours. So let me know down below. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.